with your pot of clean water and your clean brush, I want you to paint water. Let's do it over the whole of that top area down to the line, which is the top of the cloud. Okay, right. So watch me and then you can do it. And this is an exercise in itself. You don't just do it any old how. Just think about what you're doing. So pretend you're laying a color and let your brush move down the page towards that line. And then go along the line carefully with the tip of your brush with the water. Along here. Now, well, okay, we're going to do it all the way across, right to the corner, down, and then just bring that dampness down to the line at the top right-hand side of the cloud. Okay, now, if you look at it, just do that, please, and then look at it from an angle so you can see the water on the page. The rest of you, so that it doesn't go dry, mine doesn't go dry by the time I come back to it, if I'm not going to blot it, but looking at it, it's pretty shiny. I'm going to try it without blotting it, so it's still quite, if I touch it with the back of my hand, it feels cold and, you know, damp, wet. And then I'm going to put my brush into that beigey colour that we mixed. This one here, and I'm going to get the colour on my brush and I'm going to actually take it over the whole area. Now this you need to do quite quickly. Each time you go across, please watch me, you do one stroke, okay? Then you go back to your palette and you refill your brush with the colour. It should be effortless and you should do it without scrubbing at the paper. Back into the palette, pick up the next brush load of colour. And then back into the palette again, finally, to do this last little bit. Now, I can see, because my board, and I hope all your boards are at an angle, that there's a little reservoir of colour forming at the bottom of the cloud shape. So I'm going to, having dried my brush on my paper towel, I'm literally just putting the tip of my brush into that to pick up that little reservoir. Okay. Now, can you please keep watching, because this is the next bit and it's critical. I'm going to wash my brush out, put it into that original blue that we made, the ultramarine blue. Fill my brush head up with colour, and then I'm going to drop it onto that wet sienna. Are you watching?
Yes.
It is. Yeah. There is not. You're not to start stroking the paper. Just drop it in, so that the bits of the brown and the blue are, well, they should be slightly separating. And you don't need to take it right to the edge, because if you remember on the edge of the picture,
Yes.
he's left some of the sienna showing through. And just come down here a bit. Tiny little drops, and I wouldn't put any more. Then, you know, dry or wash your brush out, dry it, and then pick up the pool at the bottom again. Okay?
Yes, yeah.
Right, now the next step is to go into the other colour and do exactly the same. Now, I don't guarantee this is going to work, because each time I do it, it's different, but I'm hoping it will. And it needs to do it quite quickly, because you don't want any of it drying before you've finished. I'm going to wash my brush, and I've got lots of reservoirs of extra colour. So I'm drying my brush, pick it up with the tip of my brush, dry my brush on the paper towel, then go to the next one and do the same with that. Pick it up. Okay, and then dry it and see what you get. Okay, would you like to all have a go? And Chris, I'll come back and help you with that.
I'm sorry, Sue. Can you tell me what we do with the next picture? I've done one. What's the next? What are we doing now? You said do another drawing.
Yeah, do another one. So in your next one, you paint the water, and then you blot it slightly with a paper towel, so it's not quite as wet.
Okay.
And then repeat. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Of what you've discovered, and if you like, I think it would be quite nice to finish this and put the beige in down the bottom. Same technique. I've wet it all. You can do it now if you like, those of you that have done it twice. Wet this bottom area, put your beige colour, if you've got enough of it, over it, and then, dare I say it, drop a little tiny, or you can do it with a bit of blue first and then put the beige over the top. It shouldn't have very much blue in it, but it looks to me as though there's a slight feeling of the blue in his having, you know, very dilute blue gone underneath this or run into it. I don't know. So could you experiment, please, and finish that bottom bit? So you've got two little finished paintings, and then between now when you send it to me, could you make notes on it and send me those notes as well? So you actually try and formulate
Yeah.
what you observe and what you've done. You know, I was doing a painting the other day, and I just literally used one colour for the sky and just moved really quickly and left bits of white coming up through it, and it looked lovely. You know what I mean? It had a very natural feel about it. I mean,
yes,
this doesn't look so natural because it's got a bit of an edge on it. You know,
Yes.
it's gone into a hard edge. Where this is better because it's softer. Sorry, it's
Yes.
better because it's softer.
Yes.
You know,
yeah, yeah,
but it does depend on A, the dampness of the paper, and B, the weight of the colours. I think these are softer, nicer, these colours. These have gone a bit heavy, you know.
Yeah. yes, yes, quite.
And then this one here on the back, I mean, again, I've lost all the brown because I took it too far along and it was too dry. But it's quite, you can see the distinction between the two. And this one, you can see the warm brown coming up through the blue, which is quite nice.
Yes, yeah,
But it's not wet enough. It needs to be wetter. And of course, as soon as you leave it and it dries, you get an edge.
I wondered whether to make that edge very, very soft and just keep feathering back so that it was more like in the picture, which I think is beautiful.
Yes. Well, I think we all ought to try another one and try and aim to get that, don't you?
Yeah. Yes. But are you saying now you're saying do the bottom half of the picture?
Yeah, do the bottom half of the picture and see if you can achieve that, at least that being lovely and soft. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, yeah, yes.
Okay.
That'd be good. Yes, fine.